Every once in a while, we get a game about family, but every family is not always functional. And at the root of every dysfunctional family, let's be honest, there's probably a crappy dad. Which brings us to today's list, the top 5 worst video game dads of all time. First up at number 5, we've got Bowser from the Super Mario series. This guy's got more kids than Nick Cannon. But instead of actually introducing us to a potential mother of any of these children, our villain in the half shell instead has turned his band of miscreants into kidnappers. His weird obsession with Princess Peach has driven him to instruct his Koopalings to commit numerous felonies for little more than his approval. At number 4, we've got Kratos from God of War. Now I know we all love the big guy, but let's be honest. The fact that he's literally wearing his original family is more than enough to cement him a place in this top 5. And while I guess we can give him a pass because brain control, but still, even after his big budget rebrand, he's still the most emotionally unavailable father figure in all of fiction. Even Terminator showed more love than this guy. Aside from that, he's definitely employing some aggressive parenting methods, to say the least. And number 3, John Marston from the Red Dead Redemption series. Now here's a classic deadbeat dad. He of course starts the first few years of his son's life denying fatherhood. But come to find out, him actually being present in little Jack's life is honestly even worse. In the prequel of the series, we get to see the kid literally being raised in a full-fledged gang. No schooling at all, sleeping in tents, you name it. This kid's seen more crime than Chicago PD. Then, after seeing his dad go on an ultra snitch world tour in the original game, he's left to walk directly in his dad's footsteps and commits his first big boy murder in cold blood for the game's true ending. And at the number 2 spot, we've got our only tie for the list with Kazuya and Heihachi Mishima. Not many men have been worse than these two, so they had to share the number 2 slot. And while his own father Heihachi may have started the sinister trend of throwing immediate family into volcanoes, Kazuya definitely perfected it. Starting with retaliation against Heihachi, of course, he even branches out into alternate universes and drops other people's family members off cliffs too. And you honestly can't even blame Heihachi for the original lava drop. This man Kazuya has quite literally been on demon time from the very beginning. And the beef doesn't stop with Grandpa. Both father and son have been trying to destroy Jin Kazama, aka Kazuya's son and Heihachi's grandson, for over 20 years at this point. And they're pretty much in a perpetual showdown for ownership of the evil family corporation. And last but not least, at the number 1 spot, we've got Ethan Mars from Heavy Rain. This man is the most miserably embarrassing father in all of gaming. The guy is completely irresponsible. A father of 2 sons loses his son Jason to the most avoidable tragedy I've ever seen. Lets the boy wander off in a giant crowd while he scrambles to find a measly $2 to give to a literal clown. Obviously, the man has little to no control over his son, and the kid ends up getting hit by a car and dying. As a very questionable candidate for joint custody, Ethan is left to co-parent his remaining son in what can only be described as a trap house. And yes, the accident that lost his initial son Jason may have caused him a tragic amount of mental and physical torment. But before you can even remotely begin to feel sorry for this failure of a man, yep, you guessed it, he loses his other son in the exact same fashion.
Son!
Son!
Ethan!
That's it. Show's over. Worst dad I've ever seen. But that's it for the list. It's not usually what we do on this channel, but I just had to vent my frustrations. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments. I'll ruin someone else's gaming image. But that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.